Dear Sehome, there is so much we wish we could do. We wish we could walk down your halls one last time, sit together in class, go to one last sports game, one last school dance, one last pep assembly, live our senior year all over again. But we can't do that. So instead, we want to say thank you. Thank you for honoring our class. Thank you for equipping us to graduate. And thank you for making our experience at Sehome unforgettable.
Sehome, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done to prepare me for this day, to go out into the world with skills of empathy, kindness, and a lifelong curiosity for learning.
Thank you for your kind and helpful community.
Thank you for the adventure.
Thank you for showing us that it's always a good time to wear green and gold. That the best win is a comeback.
Thank you to the new school for finally bringing us together all in one building. Thank you to the old school for so many memories and countless laps around the halls. Thank you to the teachers for always being there.
For creating a supportive learning environment.
For all your constant support and love.
Thank you for pushing us to be the best we can possibly be.
For giving us people to look up to for the past 4 years.
I'm going to make some posters.
Thank you to all our coaches for teaching us to work hard and work together.
Thank you, Sehome, for always making it a fun time.
Thank you for all the amazing memories.
Thank you for the opportunity to meet all of my best friends.
Friendships and memories that'll last forever.
Thank you for making these past 4 years amazing.
Thank you for preparing me for my future.
Thanks, Sehome, for being an inspiration from 2016 to 2020. I'm gonna miss you.
We love you, Sehome.
We know that where we go,
who we become,
that what we do will all be because of you.
Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Sehome High School Commencement. I am Sonia Bell, principal of Sehome High School, and I am honored to be here to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2020. To begin, please join me in standing and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Casey Malone. Sign language interpretation is provided by Sarah Hageman and Madison Dominguez.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red-glared, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, and please be seated. Today is a momentous occasion, both in the lives of the graduates, for their families, as well as for the Sehome staff and me. It is a joy to be able to celebrate the 51st graduating class of Sehome High School. To begin our ceremony tonight, I would like to introduce our ASB president and drum major for the Sehome Band, Ahmed Bello.
Good evening. Like Principal Bell said, my name is Ahmed Damilola Bello, and I have the pleasure of emceeing tonight's ceremony. If I were to attempt to describe and give thanks to everyone who made this day possible, I wouldn't be able to give enough praise in 30 minutes, let alone the 3 that I graciously have. So I'll only cover one concept: passion. Passion to me is joining FRC instead of FTC robotics, but staying and constantly working with a dysfunctional robot. Passion is staying up to ungodly hours in order to finish chapter notes on Islam, only to get a C on the test the next day. My mom would call that procrastination, and she wouldn't be completely wrong. Passion is losing my voice at a swim meet and proceeding to sound like Marge Simpson shouting song names the following basketball game. And passion comes from the other hundreds of experiences that I've had, the thousands that parents and teachers and other amazing staff have had, and the thousands from my classmates. Let me be extremely modest in saying that the class of 2020 is one of the most passionate classes of Sehome. 12 to 13 years of hard work, dedication, and a heaping amount of perseverance has led us here, where our futures shine so brightly, but in that nearly blinding light, there's great uncertainty. So in that uncertainty, be passionate. In your lowest time or your hardest days, try and be passionate. I can't possibly dream of how each and every one of us will be in a year, a decade, half a century, and I'm truly excited for what's in store for all of us. I will sincerely miss my 4 years at Sehome, the daily interactions, each smaller community that I was lucky to be a part of, and the friendly faces. Thank you, and congratulations to the Sehome's class of 2020. Next, please join me in welcoming the senior choir as they perform Seasons of Love from Rent Jonathan Larson and arranged by Roger Emerson. The senior choir is directed by Jessica Schlichting.
$525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
Thank you, choir. That was beautiful. Every year, the senior class chooses a staff member to speak at graduation. This year's faculty speaker is a person who has a passion for all the things physics. He's a valuable member of our Sehome community. Mr. Toney will be retiring after this school year. What a strange way to end your long and influential career as a Mariner. Thank you for your dedicated service. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Mark Charles Toney.
Welcome, Sehome graduates, friends, and family. Beloved students, and I really mean that. Because of what you have gone through, the class of 2020 may be the most beloved class in Sehome history. Congratulations on your graduation, and congratulations on getting straight A's this semester. This class may also be the smartest class in Sehome history. Way back in the fall, one day I walked into Hank's room, as I frequently did. One of her students asked me, "Mr. Toney, are you a boomer?" I knew it was a setup by the look on his face and since the class got really quiet. With trepidation, I said, "Yes." The entire class burst out laughing at me. It took me a couple of weeks to finally understand the whole okay boomer concept. It led to some mediocre jokes involving boomers drive-in, groomer ski runs, and now okay zoomer. However, it has made me reflect on generational differences. My own two children are millennials, the generation known for destroying all that is good in society, toast, real estate, etc. You graduates are Gen Z. I've tried to start OK Gen Zer as a saying, but it never caught on. I promise you that you will be known for far more than coming of age in this current crisis. Most significantly for me, I have thought a lot about 4 people, Clarence, Gladys, Doris, and Charlie. They were my grandparents, who I was quite close to. Grandparents are the best. We celebrate you too, especially during this time. Sadly, my grandparents are no longer living. If they were, they would be about 120 years old, as they all were born between 1898 and 1901. What has made me think about them recently is what they went through. They were about 15 years old during World War I and 18, about your age, during the Spanish flu. The Great Depression occurred when they were about 30 years old, and then World War II started when they were 40. My grandparents and their generation experienced 4 worldwide devastating events in less than 25 years. All of these were at the same level or worse than what we are going through now. Most importantly, my grandparents, their generation, and society as a whole survived these horrible events. Indeed, we have thrived after 1945. Furthermore, they were not defined by these crises. My grandparents seldom spoke of them, as they usually focused on other positive aspects of their lives. So, this is a message of hope for you Gen Zers. You will not just get through this. It will influence you, but it will not define you. You have a future of great things that will far overshadow this COVID crisis. Now, as a physics teacher, I'm essentially required to do a physics demonstration during a talk. In fact, this is most likely the last physics demonstration that I will ever do, as I'm retiring this year. This is not a secret, as I've been threatening retirement nearly every day for several years. This is a demonstration of Bernoulli's principle. Due to the conservation of energy, moving air decreases pressure, so a column of moving air will have less pressure than still air. Therefore, there will be a net force directed inward on the column from all sides due to the pressure difference. So, now it is time to say goodbye for all of you and for me. Remember that Sehome is not a place. It is the sum total of all your friendships and relationships that you had here. This is what we will all miss. Goodbye, Sehome. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Toney. We will now have the Sehome Senior String Quartet perform Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz by Harold Arlen and arranged by Ralph Ford. The orchestra is directed by Kirstin Doud. Thank you, Quartet. Every year, the Sehome staff chooses a student from the senior class to speak at graduation. This year's staff selected speaker is also one of our amazing yearbook editors. Please welcome to the stage, Yoshimi Lin.
Thank you, Ahmed. Before I begin, I want to thank everyone for allowing me to be here today and speak on behalf of the class of 2020. I want to thank my family, my friends, teachers, and even students who have supported me throughout these years. Now, I have to be honest, when they asked me to give a speech, I was picturing giving a speech in front of a couple hundred people, but here I stand in front of a few cameras, which I can say is much different than what I expected. As I sat down thinking with only a few days left, what was I going to talk about? There was one thing I couldn't keep off my mind, what it means to be a mariner. To be a mariner, I think of a sailor on a boat, navigating through the waves of the ocean, and as we sail on this boat, the waves we voyage through are the ups and downs we face in life. The boat we stand on represents us, beautifully structured because it was built by our parents, shaped and perfected from the knowledge our teachers educated us on, and lastly, supported and loved by our friends who helped us in navigating the waves. The places we live and have lived are the environments where we practiced and prepared, and now we're ready to embark on new adventures. And here's a perk. We're mariners. We have been preparing to set sail the day we stepped onto campus. For many of us, it started with freshman year, where our first classes started at 7:45 a.m., balancing 6 classes a day, sports, clubs, and for a good section of us, learning how to drive. We learned to steer through the 2 debatably identical-looking halls and soon learned about the many entryways into the school. Shortly followed our sophomore year, where we faced a change of a new schedule, and despite school starting at 8:30 and having 2 more classes to add on, it didn't stop us. We made it to our junior year and managed to stay sane, though again, debatable, packing up and moving to a completely new state-of-the-art building. Taking our first steps in January, we learned that we could finally say goodbye to cracks in the floors and holes in the ceilings. And just like that, we watched our junior year fly by, and we were ready to take on our senior year. And from dominating our homecoming assembly performance despite needing to redo it 2 times and reinstating senior quotes, to filling the seats of the unified basketball game, and not to forget, winning the WIAA Scholastic Cup for the 6th year in a row. The list is endless, and I could go on, but I realized one thing. Having gone through all these obstacles in life, we overcame them stronger than ever the next time. The last day of school could have easily been March 13th, but because we decided to take all this extra time we had and make something out of it, we are here today. And although not sitting together in our caps and gowns, we're able to have this celebration of everything we have achieved in the past 4 years. And so for the big question we ask ourselves, now what? I guess it's really up to us to decide that upon ourselves. Yes, this is the next step in life, and it can seem so much scarier, especially right now. The conditions look rocky and the boat seems unsteady, but let me assure you, we are ready. Ready to sail into the unknown, achieve the impossible, regardless of whatever the conditions may be. We are mariners. And looking back years from now, you probably won't remember my speech, the analogy of the boat, or even the fact that I'm speaking in front of a teleprompter. You'll probably remember school ending early, staying at home, watching your graduation from a screen and thinking, when will this end? But here's one thing I want us to walk away and remember as the class of 2020. Each and every single one of us took these obstacles and overcame them. We came back stronger than ever, and that is proof that even if life gets hard, we've prepared and practiced giving it all we've got to make it through into the finish line. We're beyond qualified to take on what life throws at us next, and if it's anyone that brings the best out of something, it's us, the class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoshimi. Now I am honored to present the captain of the ship, Miss Sonia Bell. We are so grateful for the leadership that Miss Bell has given us this year, and our community is stronger because of her. Thank you for your compassion, dedication, and focus. We could not have made it through this year without you.
While driving to where I grew up in Montana over the Memorial Day weekend to pick up my son, Trey, my plan was to write this speech. I had attempted several times before that, but the words simply would not come. Well, they didn't come on the 11-hour drive to Montana or back. So I simply listened to Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Throughout Doyle's book of short stories about her life, I heard two words over and over again: held and free. The class of 2020 will forever hold a special place in my heart. Several of you graduating today were in my Algebra 1 classes my last year as a teacher at Sehome, and you were my first class as the principal. You were born around the time that the World Trade Centers were attacked, and you will finish out your high school career during a global pandemic. Despite, or maybe because of those bookends, you continue to embrace our core covenants of integrity, respect, perseverance, and inclusivity. And by doing so, you created the school culture that you wanted to see moving into a new building. This group of seniors has shown themselves and this community that they were uniquely qualified to lead our school during this time. As I reflected on this group of students, the global pandemic, the killing of George Floyd, and a virtual graduation, my mind returned to those two words that stood out in Untamed. This group of students, along with their parents, friends, teachers, and neighbors, have built a community. This community provides a netting, an anchor that holds us together and prevents us from drifting or falling too far. Any one of the things 2020 has thrown at us could have completely taken us off course, but the community that we have built has held us together. This group of students have risen to that occasion. They have found a way around, made something new and special. They have embraced one another and pushed one another to do better, to be better. Because of their work together for 13 years, a global pandemic, missed prom, canceled sporting events, and time separated from each other cannot rock their boat. You cannot sink because you are held by each one of the people here today. Your fellow graduates, parents, siblings, friends, family, staff, and our community. Because you have been held together in such a beautiful way, you now have the courage and confidence to be free. You are mariners, free to roam and explore. You leave this place richer and more beautiful because of your contributions. Being free allows us to be who we want to be. Go where you want to go, influence and impact the world the way you see fit. You have started that work here through reimagining what homecoming looks like to include and engage our entire student body. You organized mayhem and looked for ways to educate, motivate, and change our community when thinking about the environment and climate change. You created the most beautiful sound together as one student body, singing Bohemian Rhapsody during karaoke in the Commons. You have set an incredible precedent for what it means to be a Sehome Mariner. But now, you are free. Soar far and wide, make an impact on the world around you at every turn. Remember, you are held, anchored by your family and your community, and you are also free to be you. While you are celebrating being held and free, please remember to look around you at your community, at our world, and see who is not yet held or not yet free. And do what this class already knows how to do so well. Come alongside them, build community with them, and fight to bring justice and love to this world. To the Sehome graduating class of 2020, thank you for showing me what is possible and for inspiring me to continue to fight so that everyone is held and free. I now have the honor of introducing the class of 2020. Dr. Baker, school board members, Sehome staff, and honored guests, I present to you the Sehome graduating class of 2020. Please also welcome Superintendent Dr. Greg Baker, who has a few words for us.
Welcome to the stage of our unique graduation for the class of 2020. Congratulations to all graduates, and welcome to families, friends, community members, and other supporters of our outstanding graduates. I also want to acknowledge our school board and the important role they play in our district and community, and extend their own congratulations to each of you. I know this isn't quite the way you envisioned your graduation, which is usually the culminating experience to celebrate your accomplishments over your 13+ years in school. But how you reflect on your years with Bellingham Public Schools and how you remember this time, your senior year, and your final days as a student is up to you, and it will shape your path moving forward. You are the narrator of your own story. I encourage you to think about whether you received any gifts as a result of this pandemic instead of what the quarantine took away. This is not a trick question or reverse psychology. Often when we experience hardships or disappointments, or worse, tragedy, there are silver linings. And it's up to you to see them, name them, and choose to make them part of your story. I imagine many of you have spent considerable time reflecting on your friends, your teachers, your classes, even the hallways, or those lingering minutes during passing time or after school. You've probably been wishing you had gotten one last game or match or performance or afternoon with your team or club this spring. And you've probably thought about the events you had hoped would fill your days and evenings these last few months. I challenge you to allow gratitude in. Think about how much you have to be thankful for, about the time you did have with those beloved friends, those inspiring teachers, coaches, and advisors, about all of your important connections with other students and staff, and about your developing talents and passions. The moments with them might have been cut short this spring, but I hope you appreciate all you had and have in your life as you continue. I must show some appreciation too. Our seniors were longing for school. I'm grateful how many of you reached out and expressed the importance of this day and this event. Usually the spring is filled with senior skip days, pranks, and senioritis. I'm thankful that you got to experience that part of your senior year at home. But truly, I believe the class of 2020 will be defined by this chapter in your story, which has brought out your thoughtfulness and perseverance. And I have faith in you. You are our future, and you are in the best position to influence our country and our world. As you reflect on the protests and events across our country, I encourage you to think about your role and what's next. Engage, persevere, and stand up against racism, bigotry, and hate. Your class will be among those to rise and meet the challenges. How do we heal? How do we amplify all voices in our community? We need your help as we strive for a more inclusive and diverse democracy, one that stands up for people who have been marginalized and victimized by the status quo. Your class will move us forward by registering to vote, by voting, and by staying engaged. Your class has chosen to show grace in disappointment. Thinking back to the past few weeks here in Bellingham, I am not sure that there will be another class for whom picking up their cap and gown was such a celebration. There were balloons, happy tears, signs, honking horns, and lots of hands in the shapes of hearts. I'm not sure if we've ever had a class whom the entire community cheered for and supported with yard signs and local media. I want you to think about how those so-called lost months of your senior year will shape you. Maybe it'll pop up as extra care in choosing your job or your major. Maybe you'll be more thoughtful about how you fill your days, who you stay in contact with, who you choose to spend time with, or the relationships you develop. For better or worse, many of you will have roommates in the near future, and this one question will weigh upon you heavily. Could I quarantine with you for 3 months if I had to? Our district serves a wide range of students from preschool to 12th grade, and in sticking with the tradition of past graduations, I have checked in with some of our students to get advice and reflections for our graduates. I now bring you advice from our kindergartners. Our seniors are heading off to try something new, and one of the questions I asked our kindergartners was, what would you say to someone who's trying something new? Well, here's what a few of our kids said. They said, first, I would tell the graduates to take a no thank you bite, and if you don't like it, you don't have to do it anymore. But if you like it, then have good luck because you like doing it. If you want to try something new, you should gather a lot of your brave and swift side. You can do it. Just like the monkey bars at school, if you can do the lower green bars, then I bet they can do the higher red bars. On my 4th day of kindergarten, I could do the blue bars, and then 4 days later I was able to do the green ones. And now I can do the red bars. Yay, never give up. Another question I posed to our brilliant kindergartners was, what does being a graduate mean to you? One kindergartner said, you get to stay home, but you'll have to take out the trash and do the dishes. Another says it means you get to wear a dress and you get to have a party because you finished graduating school. And another one said, it means you have done all of your work and you're proud of yourself and you're ready to move on to bigger things. Well said, kindergartners. I appreciate your advice every year. And to graduates, I'm very proud of each and every one of you, and I know you're ready to move on to bigger challenges and triumphs. And as you narrate your story, may it be full of thoughtfulness, perseverance, and gathering a lot of your brave. Thank you, and all the best.
Claire Allred. Jacob Connor Alexander. Royce Alton. Spencer Hoyer Arps. Nicholas Babick. Landon Baker. Riley Bear. Alexander Robert Batt. Delia Becerra. Sophie Ray Bichkoviak. Ahmed Bello.
Aaron Benson. Isabel Bergeron. Sophia Berger. Cicely Bergsma. Charles Bertelson. Blakely Bornstein. Bryn Boydston. Taylor Rose Brooks. Coleman Brummel.
Helena Elizabeth Bully. Devin Bumstead. Samuel Derek Bunn. Mary Ellen Burfeen. Alexander David Burford. Elena Burrows. Maya Busby. Colina Dominique Cammon. Zola Lily Carbone. Rory Isabella Carnell.
Max Case. Thomas Paul Casella. Samari Castillo. Nicholas Raphael Centurion. Robin Shelfie. Jesse Miller Chasson. Lucas Chatterton. Landon Clark. Grant Aiden Collins. Gus Christopher Cook.
Jenny Cooper. Shane Cantoria Cottoner. Casey Doyle Crocker. Benjamin Cruz. Connor Daniels. Thomas Taylor Davenport. Jocelyn Delgadillo Magallon. Weisheng William Deng. Fiona Sophia Dent. David DeRoy.
Linnea Devangi. Josie Dew. Anya Dillon. Madison Dominguez. Ryan Doran. Coyote Diego Dunkel Vance. Rumi Dunkel Vance. Alex Dutton. Ari Dykstra.
Chase Ebright. Quincy Eggert. Julius Ellison. Lauren Rochelle Ellsworth. Annabella Josie Esquivel. Scarlett Fearing. Franny Fleming. Clara Ford. Mark Frazee. Annie Frost.
Gabriela Saray Fuentes Bermudez. Cioreth Fuentes. Isabel Jolie Galaviz. Josue Emmanuel Galeas. Dominique Garofalo. Emily Gavin. Olivia Geist. Shavela Gerner. James Andrew Gibson. Jesselyn Gill.
Munjordan Gill. Emma Gilmore. Dawson Gron. Joseph Daniels Greenan. Colin Gregory. Leo Greason. Nicholas Greavy. Lillian Grumman. Jax Goodbranson. Max Gusakuma.
Declan Hackett. Sarah Ann Machen Hageman. Rachel Hansen. Kara Elizabeth Jelseth. Cameron Alexis Hodges. Connor Homan. Benjamin Holstein. Liam Hooker. Cecilia Hooper.
Grace Marietta Hughes. Willow Noam Hughes. Arden Hunt. Quentin Ike. Larson Byers Imus. Isabel Gillette. Angel Oscar Jennings. Liam Andrew Jensen. Edith Grace Lockman Johnson. Layla Marie Jones.
Matthew Joseph June. Mani Singh Kandola. Thomas Kananaga. Peyton Cap. Liam Keene. J.M. Keenan. Andrea Kelsch. Sagar Kadka. Joyce Haojun Kim. Elizabeth Kirker.
Iona Michelle Kleka. Micah Klepp. Sophia Nab. Demi Katsoginis. Kelly Kranz. Finn Kurtz. Michaela Iolani Lamb Ramirez. Jacob Lebovich. Jae-Chan Lee. Benjamin Legan.
Allison Lemmer. Morgan Chase Ledevec. Sarah Loon. Yoshimi Lin. Samuel John Lindbeck. Pingyue Lu. Wyatt Laurie. Chao Sheng Lu. Owen Lunny. Amelia Rain Lustig.
Sasha Mackey. Nicholas McPhee. Anya Magas. Casey Allison Malone. John Douglas Malquist. Josie Owen Mariner. Calista Martin. Papik Matos Cantrell. Nikolai McCarthy. Ethan Paul McCart.
Donald Spencer Christian McDonald. Alec Daniel McGreevy. Maya Ione McKinley. Evan McNamee. Zachary Mahar. Maya Lily Medcalf. Jessica Melvin. Jordan McKenna Mendez. Morgan Lee Mendez. Lane Middendorf.
Jack Miller. Hendrik Alexander Middet. John Mung. Margot Mung. Nika Mung. Zachary Graham Montoya Lewis. Marcelli Morin. Annika Morse. Radish Muchara Wahando. Elaine Mueller.
Alex Tobias Muldoon. Damian Jashawn Nail. Patrick Royce Neville. Kaya Neff. Eric Nelson. Malloy Nelson. Jae Hong Win. Sierra Noskoff. Isaiah Moses Nugent. Riley Nepsharon.
Ethan Oliver. Henry Oppenheimer. Jory William Pepperitz. Austin Patrick. Maximus Bernard Pavlovsky. Jackson Perkins. Ethan Ender Tycho Personius Naff. Marin Hannah Peterson. Mark Pfeiffer. Sean Nagesh Phillips.
Connor Pierce. Timothy Ryan Pilkington. Kazmiris Piros. Jackson Porterfield. Sean Powell. Isaac Pring. Tori Purpura. Lana Rasmussen. Julia Beatrice Redstone. Josie Ritchie.
Dominic Ryman. August Eric Coleman Ringo. Annika Risser. Amaya Renee Kualani Roberts. Sage Meredith Rogers. Benjamin Rosbeck. Tisa Rosen. Wyatt Rothenbuehler. Isabella Rutledge. Skylar Sadoskas.
Brennan Samuelson. Tate Sayers. Ilea Schmid. Clara Schwartz. Tully Scott. Elliot Shaughnessy Lively. Amaya Carolyn Shaw. Jasha Jean Sherman. Kaya Sherwood Bally. Lev Schuster.
Lucia Shetska. Kaylee Slack. Dawson Smith. Jonathan Richard Snavely. Jocelyn Studley. Alexander Steyer. Emerson Elizabeth Sullivan. Katriana Swedish. Bantu Takele. Autumn Sky Taylor.
Lydia Tibbett. Adrian Case Van Hoog. Grace Vandergrind. Jordan Verk Haskell. Samantha Nicole Vermeulen. Nolan Veray. Sean Wagner. Ashton Jonathan Wallace. Oliver Watson. Michaela Weffer.
Emily Grace Welsh. Megan Jade West. Simone Westerland. Marin Wheeler. Caleb Whiting. Janie Wilson. Elena Wolgamont. Savannah Jane Wolverton. Giselle Yachty. Faith Adriana Young.
It's time to turn our tassels from the right to the left side to signify our graduation. If you ever forget which side our tassel turns towards, remember that we wear it on the left side over our heart to remind us that we are a Sehome Mariner. Congratulations, class of 2020.
I would like to thank each person who planned and executed the commencement ceremony today. A huge shout out to Bethany, Barrett, and Kirk, who were instrumental in pulling this together. Also, a huge thank you to Veritas for all of your work to pull together a virtual graduation. Who knew we could pull it off? Thank you so much for all of your help to make this possible and a special day for our graduates. I would also like to express my appreciation for all of our Bellingham Public Schools staff, families, and friends who have loved and supported these extraordinary students for the past 4 years. Graduates, we join you today to celebrate your hard work and perseverance. Please join us in singing the Sehome Fight Song for one last time.
Herzog.